For problem numbers 8 and 9, you're really being asked to do the same thing for both problems. First thing it asks you to do is to find the standard error. And the way that you do that is you multiply pi times 1 minus pi, divide that by n, and then take the square root of all of that. That's a horrible square root. I'm sorry about that, guys. So the population mean value that they give me is 0.20. If this is 0.20, then 1 minus 0.20 is going to be 0.80. I'm going to divide that by the n value that was given to me. Again, this is just given information. And then after we do all of that, we are going to take the square root. So if I do those calculations, including using that fantastic calculator that I really like using a lot, that I've introduced to you guys before, we get a rounded decimal of, okay, so it gives me a pretty long drawn out decimal. It's like 0.08340057, goes on and on and on. I believe your textbook asked you to round to the 4 decimal places. Then the second part of the question asks you whether or not you can assume that they're normal. And the way that you have to do that is you need to multiply n times pi, and then you need to multiply n times 1 minus pi, and they both need to be at least 10. So I'm going to do that now. So in my previous problem, my n in both cases was 23. So in this case, 23 times the population mean. So 23 times 0.20 is 4.6. Obviously, 4.6 is not at least 10. So not that there's any point in doing the second test, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway just to show you. So again, I'm going to take that n value, and instead of multiplying it by 0.20, I'm going to multiply it by 0.80. So that gives me 18.4. So even though this one is greater than 10, the fact that we have this one that is not means that we cannot assume normality. One of the biggest tricks in the book is that what they'll do is try to catch you slacking, and they'll make one of the values bigger than 10, but they won't both be bigger than 10. So make sure you do both of these calculations in order to be able to test whether or not it can be normal. Okay, aside from this video example, there are also a few other examples in the notes. So now try it yourself and check against the answers, and let me know if you've got any other questions.